guys? Ryan Dennis here with the A Scene, your premier source for all things entertainment right here in Atlanta. And I am so glad and honored to speak with our next guest. You guys know his song. You can't help it. Sweet dee dee. Mr. Donell Jones, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Man, thanks for having me. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Man, so are you in a recording studio? I'm loving your setup.
Yeah, this is my home studio. This is where I come to, put down all the music that I create. Yeah, definitely, man.
Man, and you've been cooking up some really exciting new music. You're gearing up for a new release. Tell me about it.
Yes. Well, my new album is called 100% Free, and it will be 100% free on my website for fans to download. In this time of the pandemic, I got the idea to do a record. I know a lot of people lost their jobs and financially are not where they need to be. So I got the idea to do a free album, and then the thought came to, you should name it 100% Free. And that name resonated with me because there's a lot of things that we need to be free from, like negative thinking. We spend too much time on the phone. We spend too much time on social media, and and I just felt like sometimes we overconsume drugs. Sometimes we overconsume a lot of alcohol. So my whole idea with this was just really making some great music and just giving some love back to the world, man. Because I think we're in a time where we really need to focus on that and come together.
Absolutely. And I know that this album process it's your first release in 7 years. What made you want to get back in the booth and do your thing and put something out there for everybody?
You know what, man? I mean, for me, when I'm creating, like I'm always constantly creating, but that feeling, that urge came back to me. And it's like when I get that feeling, I have to do it. So when these thoughts started coming, I know it's not coming from me. It's coming from somewhere. So I got to do it. And I got the idea to do it, and a strong urge came with that. So I had to jump back in and get it done.
Absolutely. So tell me about some of your favorite tracks on this new record.
Well, my favorite track would definitely be, I have a song called Serious, and it just has all the elements of that R&B feel that we're missing, but it also has the melody structure. The way I did the melody is it's up tempo. I mean, it's today. It's today. So I'm kind of marrying the two cultures together. Then we also have Karma Payback, which is another one of my favorites. That song is out right now. And Deep Into You. And then I did to be honest, I did a house track on this album, which I don't do house music, but I'm from Chicago. So I felt like, I got to show the world that I can do house music, because that genre of music, it touches so many people. And my idea was to touch as many people as I can with the love message. So I felt like, house music is one of those things that's universal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so excited about this release. Now, will there be any videos accompanying?
Yes, we just shot a video for my song Karma Payback. And a couple of my favorite artists came out to support me. I had Jacquees in the video. I had Carl Thomas. I also had RL from Next. I mean, these guys came out. I had George Daniels from Chicago who came out and supported me. I mean, this was really beautiful, man. And we're just trying to show the world that we're trying to come together. Sometimes they always try to put us against each other, like, well, who had the better songs? You see these kind of posts online, but we're trying to show the world that we want to come together. We want to create a new narrative, which is togetherness.
Man, when you name all of those artists, it's amazing because I think what you guys did for the early 2000s. I think that when you mention what R&B is missing, there's something to be said about that specific era and time, how influential it is to the kids today. And you mentioned Jacquees.
Yes. Well, you know what? That young brother, I really appreciate him. He's from this new generation, but he had an old soul. Like, he reached out to me when he was working on his first album, and he kind of paid homage to him. He was like, yo, I know we haven't met, but I would love to meet you, and I want you to come to the studio and listen to my album. And when I got there, I loved his album. And he was like, yo, but it's not finished until I have a Donell Jones record on it. And that made me feel good, so I love his attitude. I love how he respects his elders, and he's a good guy. Even though he said he was the king of R&B, which I love that part too, because it made people pay attention to him.
I love that. Now, you're an Atlanta resident. Jacquees is of course an Atlanta resident. What do you love about being in Atlanta? What makes Atlanta, that sauce for R&B and music?
You know what? When I thought about moving here to Atlanta, for me, it was more about me bringing up my family in an environment where this whole Atlanta is a family culture a place. Like I was living in New York at first, and when I got here, property value was where I wanted it to be, and then the atmosphere. You have so many great artists that live here. Again, I came down here all the time because I was with LaFace Records. LaFace was here, Dallas Austin, Babyface, just so many artists that were here, and it's just a culture place to be. It's almost like a lot of people call it like the baby LA. You know what I'm saying? Because now there's so many movie things are going on here, and it's actually bigger than LA to me. To be honest with you.
It definitely you get the best of both worlds living in a
Yes.
city.
Yes.
Now with this new project, I know you are giving back in a special way as well. Tell me about that.
Yes. I heard about children endangerment, man, and children coming up missing at the beginning of the pandemic. I heard that 800,000 children come up missing a year, and that number just was crazy to me, man. That so many children, and we're not speaking about it. So I wanted to lend my voice and lend my platform to talk about it. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be donating 25% of the proceeds of this album to missingkids.org. And I just really feel like we need to pay a little bit more attention to our children because, if that's 800,000 kids that's missing, that's 1.6 million parents that don't have their children. And I have 6 kids myself. I can imagine how I would be feeling if something like that happened to me. So, I mean, I really feel like we need to, find out what's going on, get to the bottom of it and try to slow it down, but also pay a little bit more attention to our children.
Man, that's incredible. Like after taking a break, what really made you want to step back into the game, and what made you want to take a break? Because I can only imagine, like when I listen to your music, I think about the quality of your sound.
Thank you.
So I'm glad that you did take a break. But what made you want to take a break?
Well, what made me want to take a break was actually, I was going through some things about I think about 13 years ago. I had put out an album called Lyrics, and I was just going through a lot at that particular time in my life, and just mentally, I was always having negative thoughts. Just my life wasn't right at that particular time. I was consuming a lot of alcohol, smoking a lot of marijuana. Um, I was abusing things. I wasn't enjoying, I was abusing. So I had asked a question online. I was on Twitter at the time. I asked the question. I was like, yo, what could I do to try to, kind of get these thoughts out of my head? Somebody recommended that I meditate. So what I did was the first day I tried to meditate, I had the most excruciating headache ever because my body didn't want to do it. So I just kept doing it every day. I just kept trying and trying and trying. And I watched some gurus and I watched some literature on how to do it. Eventually, I became better at it, and lo and behold, the thoughts started to subside. You know what I'm saying? Things started to open up. I started to feel better as a person. And what took the 7 years was that it actually took me those 7 years. Also, I had a son at that around that time too, and I wanted to change my life for him. But what happened was it took all those 7 years for me to just release all of these things that I was going through. I had to drop alcoholism. I had to drop, smoking marijuana every day. I had to, it was a lot of things, negative thinking. It was a lot of things that I was addicted to that I didn't even know that I was addicted to. So it took those 7 years, and I'm here today to say that we can enjoy life and enjoy some things, but don't overconsume them. Don't feel like we need them. You know what I'm saying? Like you can enjoy things, but when you have to need it to survive, or you need it, that's when it becomes a problem.
Absolutely. And it's good that pretty much saying you focus on your mental health. And
Mental health is big, man, out here. I mean, a lot of people, we all have to go through it. I mean, because sometimes our parents pass things down to us that they don't know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And it just happens. So we all have to escape that in some kind of way.
absolutely. And on the subject of mental health, like we look at, celebrities and artists and people in the, high profile lives, we're getting, I think it's as if the public, especially when you look at someone recently, I guess recent news story is Britney Spears.
Mm-hmm.
And, examining, she was once bullied for her behavior and, things that were going on. But now that we have the context of what's, that she battled mental health and,
Yes.
how do you feel about, the public's respect for artists' privacy in regards to that subject?
Well, I think that, when you sign a deal, man, that's out the window. You become a public figure, and you have to understand that that's just part of it. You have to really have thick skin to be an entertainer because, you have a lot of people's opinions. And a lot of us don't understand that it's just an opinion. It's not the truth. And we take that and we hold on to it and then we internalize it and then we make a big problem for ourselves. But I think the issue is that, we had to remember we taking kids off the streets and putting them in front of the world. And there's a lot of things that they haven't yet learned or that they're going through or that they're gonna go through. And they go through it in front of the public. And, people love to build you up and tear you down. And that's what the nature of a lot of us have had to go through. But at the end of the day, if you put God first and you understand that it's all a process. Everything in life is a process. You just got to enjoy life, man, and move through it, but also try to become a better person at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And, in celebration of your new release, I know you're getting ready to drop something on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
So what made you want to go in with that lover's theme? So you got the red lights in the background, brother. What's going on? What's going on?
You know what, man? For me, man, Valentine's Day, every day is a love day for me. But Valentine's Day, we have chosen that day to be the day of love for couples and for just love, period, across the world. And I feel like, that's a great day to bring out this album. The album is completely about love. It's stories about love, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's just becoming a better person. And I just felt like, that day, I was going to release it in December of last year, but it just made more sense. I think everything happens for a reason. It got pushed back and boom, February 14th. It was like it was meant to happen this way. So I don't challenge the universe. Whatever happens is what's supposed to happen. And that's the day that we chose. And I really want my fans to come out and support. And I just love the fact that they have been rocking with me for all these years, man. That's been amazing for me.
Man, can we talk about the hits for a moment?
Oh yeah.
Where I Wanna Be is definitely one of like the top tier songs, like love songs of all time.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, that's
well that particular song, man. I was living it. Everything about it. I was in a relationship at a young age, and when I became Donell Jones, life started to change. I started to go out on the road. I'm getting hit from all kind of angles with women, so the video showed that he was already out cheating, but the actual song was you was telling your girl that I'm feeling this way, but I haven't done it. I'd rather leave than cheat, so, and that's what's the moral of the story, that, at the end of the day, don't cheat. Just be honest with the woman you're with and leave. You know what I'm saying? Instead of taking her through a whole bunch of mess, just leave.
Man, incredible. I always wanted to know the backstory behind that one. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is an absolute honor. Anything that that you want to mention for the people of the A scene?
I just want to say I love y'all so much for rocking with me all these years. The album is coming out on Valentine's Day. You can grab it from my website for free. I would love for you to support me because it's for a good cause. We're going to give 25% of the proceeds to missingkids.org. And at the end of the day, man, I love you guys. And again, put God first in everything you do.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.